Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Karen Underwood. I am the Chief Medical Officer of the Drug Health Program, and I'm honored to be here today as a partner of several years with the City of Goodyear to bring this program to you with a focus on their drivers um, as they work to keep you safe and healthy. And this tutorial will be a little bit of education as well as some instructions on how to use the program. So let's go ahead and get started. If we look at the impact of sleep on our lives, it's really multifactorial, and that's what this is slide is really depicting. So if you start at the top, if we have had a poor night's sleep, we have decreased energy and resilience, right? You're not able to do the things that you want to do. It's a chore. Many times we end up drinking caffeine to try to get through the day. We just don't bounce back from things from adversity or things that come our way. We also find that our productivity decreases. We have tools to measure productivity and data to support this. The other interesting part of our being, if you will, that is negatively impacted with poor sleep is our memory. So, not only our ability to form new memories, but our ability to recall previous memories that have been stored. And they've done studies where they looked at people recalling items that they had learned the day before or school children doing tests. And it supports the fact that our memories are much better when we've had adequate sleep. The other part um, of our jobs, if you will, and health and safety that are impacted by are negatively impacted by poor sleep is reaction time. So we know that our reaction time goes up when you've had poor sleep. So being able to respond to obstacles on the road or in front of us is impacted. They've done studies with swimmers and with professional baseball players looking at their reaction time. And that is part of the support for those sports actually promoting and emphasizing sleep in their regimen. Our judgment is also impacted. We don't make as good judgments when we are sleep deprived or having poor sleep. Our overall health and well-being, a bunch of different organ systems are impacted, which we'll talk about. Our weight is impacted. So, and that's kind of multifactorial as well. Our hormones are out of whack. So we do not feel as full. We have cravings for the wrong types of food. And then add on to that, you have no energy to walk or to get any exercise. So our weight goes up. Mood and relationships are also negatively impacted by sleep, right? We're not as tolerant. We're not as as forgiving when we have had poor sleep. So if we look at one of the largest contributors to uh, getting poor sleep, it is obstructive sleep apnea. And I'm sure that a lot of you have heard of that. They screen you for obstructive sleep apnea with some questions, usually when you go get your commercial driver's license. And what it is where you have a recurrent, so over and over, collapse of your upper airway. So, upper airway is defined as anything from kind of your shoulders on up, and that collapses during sleep. And what happens with that, why it's such a big deal, is that it actually lowers your oxygen level. So you can't breathe, you can't take in new air, so you can't get in new oxygen and you can't exhale carbon dioxide. And it fragments your sleep because your body tries to wake you up over and over again. My oxygen levels are low, I need to wake you up. And so this picture here just kind of shows you what an open airway looks like and a closed airway. And most of you, if I asked you, okay, what are some of the symptoms of having sleep apnea? Probably most of you would say snoring. And that is one of them. You can have snoring without having sleep apnea, but snoring is just the sound of air kind of going through a restricted portion of your airway. And so snoring, being extremely tired, some people will say they're not tired. And then when they get treatment for sleep apnea, they realize how tired they really were. You might have morning headaches. You might, kind of some of the other things we talked about, you might not be able to think as clearly. You might have to get up at night to use the restroom. You might never feel rested. Those are some of the common symptoms. Now, why should you care if you have sleep apnea? So, if everything we've talked about with sleep isn't enough, why you as drivers actually should take note is that according to the Harvard School of Medicine, as many as 50% of commercial drivers may have sleep apnea. So, it's a huge amount. The normal population is maybe 17 to 20. So, you're at higher risk. Sleep apnea increases your risk of stroke by 60% if you don't get it treated, and a heart attack by 30%. So, those are some big numbers. Those suffering from sleep apnea are more susceptible to diabetes, high blood pressure, weight gain, depression. It makes treating those disorders harder. So, being able to treat your sleep apnea oftentimes makes those other diseases easier to treat. Sleep apnea that's untreated also is associated with erectile dysfunction. So it's really this combination of sleep fragmentation, your interrupted breathing, that leads to higher levels of drowsiness, and it dramatically increases the risk of accidents by as much as 250% compared to well rested drivers. So these numbers are quite large. It's hard to dispute. Now, when we look at the transportation industry, specifically, we know that driver fatigue is responsible for an estimated 100,000 motor vehicle accidents per year. The cost of driver fatigue is estimated to be $12.4 billion a year. Fatigued drivers are 5 times more likely to have an accident. And the other interesting thing is that when they look at how drivers behave when they have had sleep with a sleep disorder that's not been treated, they compare that to a person with a blood alcohol level of 0.06 to 0.08. So you really are impaired. The good news is that FMCSA reports that drivers who are under treatment for OSA or obstructive sleep apnea is no riskier than drivers without it. So that's good news. So what we are offering is a sleep health program. It's called Drowsy Sleep Health Program. Some of you may have heard of it before. City of Goodyear has been offering it now to their employees for a few years. And it allows you to screen yourself for your risk of sleep apnea, to start receiving some education and some sleep improvement tools at home. And then you can choose to take the next step to get evaluated. So it is private. The City of Goodyear does not know your results, only you do. They may know participation, like who's participating, who's not. But it's very simple to use. It's 3 easy steps. We give you a QR code to download the program, and then you answer some survey questions about your sleep, about your health. You then get ready at night to record your sleep breathing, and that's how it works. It uses the phone's microphone to record your sleep breathing overnight. It uploads sound files to the cloud. We have a proprietary algorithm that analyzes those sound files, and then you get your own personalized report in the morning. So you do have to plug in your phone to be able to record, because we don't want your phone dying overnight. And you do need to be connected to Wi-Fi or a data source. But it takes very little data, like maybe less than, I think, 6 seconds of a movie equivalent if you're streaming. So, and then what you do is you hit the record button, and then you go to sleep, and we do the rest. And there's a little video when you first download Drowsy that walks you through this. It's very simple. Now, in the morning, you will get an emailed, a password protected PDF email of the full report that has tells you what your risk is based upon the surveys that you answered, what your breathing analysis is, how many times you stop breathing overnight. And then it kind of gives you some next steps. You also get a truncated version on your phone. And what you will notice is that on the app, you will be able to actually push a button that will make an appointment for a consultation with a sleep specialist. So if your risk is high and you want to get evaluated and get the next step, which is a home sleep test, then you can push a button and you can schedule that consultation. Now, Drowsel also will start sending you via email some ongoing education. We have sleep tips that you get once a week and a newsletter that you get once a month. It's nothing onerous. There's usually little snippets, little tidbits, little videos, and that can be helpful with other things you can do to help improve your sleep. So, in order for you to get started with the program, you can download Drowsel by using this QR code. So, you just take the camera of your phone and scan this, and that'll take you to a page where you can register. You can create an account and register. If you don't want to use a QR code, you can go to the website getdrowsel.com and you can enter the code COG CDL. So, City of Goodyear CDL. Okay, so COG CDL, and it will do the same thing. And then you can go ahead and get started. So that is it. I mean, it's very simple. And like I said, the City of Goodyear will not know your results. You are screening yourself so that you can know your risk and you can take next steps on your own. So thank you very much. This ends our tutorial for today. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me personally. My name is Karen Underwood, and my email address is KUNDERWOOD, so K Underwood at Resonea, RESONEA.com. Thank you.